Dear listeners, today I will be talking with you about stress and its impact on the human body. Most of us experience stress and knowingly or unknowingly start impacting their health. Surprisingly, the moment you talk with anyone, he or she will say, "Oh, it's too much stress. I'm experiencing it." But then the question comes, really we experience? If we experience, then what are the sources from where the stress comes to us? Let's learn it and understand it. I will show you one picture of a young lady smiling. I think you can see on the screen how much she's smiling, well organized, the way she's holding the files in her hand, the strap on her shoulder, smile on her lips. It's in the morning. If you see her, I hope you will agree with me. She looks to be very charming, very relaxed, and going to the office or her workplace seems she's quite happy. It's not she only happy, but if you see in the environment, the sparrow is trying to sing, love singing. Once she saw this lady, the flowers, if you see the flowers at the bottom of the screen, they feel like touching her feet, her leg. In other words, if you allow me, then I will say, when she is relaxed, she seems to be happy, seems to be well organized. If that's her condition, obviously the environmental conditions around her also seems to be relaxed. So let's see the same lady in my next slide. Can you see her? Only difference from AM to PM. See the way she's holding her files? See what happened to the sparrow which was singing? See what happened to the flowers which was trying to touch her feet? See the eyebrows. See the shape of the lips now. See the strap of the bag which she's carrying. I hope you can see the difference. I will show you once more the earlier one. See in the morning, the same lady in the evening. Morning, evening. It means there must have been something happened from morning till evening. And the expressions of her face very clearly revealing that something went wrong somewhere. Unhappy. When she unhappy, see the environmental conditions around her also not very happy, like sparrow flowers, etc. Henceforth, Let's define it. Let's see what I will give a very, very simple definition to understand. That is, stress is a person's adaptive response to a stimulus that places excessive psychological or physical demands on that person. It's a basically a relationship between a stimulus and the response. Whenever there is stimulus, there is always a response. But if we have to put extraordinary, excessive psychological or physical pressure to respond to that stimulus, then that turns out to be a stress condition. Some people can adapt, others cannot adapt. They collapse. The degree of adaptation, degree of excessive demand on a person. So this is just a relationship between the stimulus and the response. The same lady, the picture I showed you in the morning and evening before this, you see after 6 months, that condition of her remained constant for days together and continued for months together. In the morning, she was relaxed, she was happy, excited to go to her workplace or wherever, or to her college, or to student class to teach or to study, whatever. But in the evening, she always turned out to be like this. And after 6 months, she was there in the nursing home, got admitted for. Here you see in my slide. She developed very clear symptoms of hypertension, migraine, peptic ulcer, and heart. So she developed all three health ailments. Because, and I wish, I pray, none of you experience what this lady experienced in the morning and in the evening, which I showed you in my first two slides. Here, where is churning it done? Churning it done always in the stomach, over here in your stomach. It happens. And it's coming from self, the job, the family, and the community. In another sense, there's a role conflict, or there are sources from where the role conflict, and these sources are the self, the job, the family, and the community. Community could be your neighborhood, the social organization you are a member, the club, the church, the gurdwara, and so on and so forth, or a kitty party, whatever. So there are four basic sources which are there from where the role conflict emerges. Let me make it more clear. So there are four very thick circles surrounding each one of us. First circle is constituting of the self. This self is responsible for 60+% of the stress one experience, the role conflict one experience. And this self is constituting 5 components, namely your personality, your knowledge, your experience, your values, and your interest. So the self constituting the 5 components, again I'm repeating, your personality, your knowledge, your experience, your values, your interest. Each one of have different. in different degree. So that is the first source, a large number of stress which has been seen and noticed the self person himself or herself is responsible. The second source is the job, which is coming from the job. Job is responsible. It could be your seniors, your boss, your colleagues, your subordinates, your peers. The demands of the jobs. I will discuss later on this in my subsequent one of the slide. The third source of stress which originate, which affect the persons, is the family, the type of family you have, the demands of the family, the structure of the family, your responsibility for the family, how good you are in that, whether you're meeting that demands, goodness or not. Then the last source of stress is the community. Community could be your neighborhood. The needs of the neighborhood from expectation from you by your neighbors. The social organization, the church you are a member, the expectation of the members of the church from you, the temple you are a member, your responsibility for them. So henceforth, the four sources, that is self, job, family, and community, which demand from you. If the demands goes beyond your expectation, without your capacity to deal with, then it comes into the form of a stress. That becomes the source of your stress. Let's see very interesting slides. See, if you happen to live up to the age of 65, then this is based on a large sample, large data on the youngster from the age of 25 to 45 of, and the data indicates that a person lives up to the age of 65, he or she sleeps for 22 years out of 65. Daily routine means going to the bathroom, cleaning, taking bath, dressing up, all that will take somewhere about 2.5 years of your life. Meals, the breakfast, tea, coffee, dinner, lunch, it takes somewhere 5.5 years of life. Today's in a fast-paced world of distance from work to place, the traffic on the roads, it takes somewhere about, in commuting from the work to the home and back, somewhere from 5.5 years of life on an average. And work, at job, you spend 16 years of life. There are miscellaneous, which are undefined, 2.5 years, and the most important is personal discretion, that is 11 years. Out of the 65 years, 11-year time is the time which you personal discretion. Personal discretion means doing introspection. This is very essential, very important. One should do the introspection. It's seen that the most young people, the most CEOs of organizations who move the ladder very fast, who move the career in the career very fast, they are the people who do a lot of introspection on a daily basis or weekly basis. Introspection, 11-year dynamo means the years which will come after retirement. Some people think 11 years, no, it's my time, retirement is my time. That time, you're old enough at times, you can't do many things which you could have done during young time. So start thinking on this. So 16 years is the most important time of active time of life which you spend. That means most of the time you spend at work. And that is the reason, in my previous slides, I have shown second circle the job and not the family. In today's modern world, fast life, we hardly spend time with the family. We largely spend time at workplace with our colleagues, with co-workers, and so on. Let's see next. This is the conflict within each one of us. This is tug of war. You can see one side is its desires, its needs, and the expectations. The other side, your values, your attitude, and your discipline. It's a constant tug of war. One side is a money, other side is a integrity. One side is a power, other side humility. One side is a prestige, other side is sincerity. So it's a constant tug of war. Sometimes you are on the right side, some you're left side. You can't avoid. Henceforth, some amount of stress is very important. You can't avoid that. It should be there. And this stress, we call it as a positive stress or eustress. Eustress is stress which keep us going up and up the ladder. Stress bring a plateau basically. If we are stressful condition, then that means our performance no stabilize. It's not going up, even on putting efforts. But third condition is a distressful condition. Under this, your performance start going down. It's a cycle, it's a inverted U-shaped curve. You're starting with this U stress, positive stress to stress at the pre, and then going to the down the hill. Going up the hill, U stress, reaching on the top of the hill is stress, and then going down is the distress. Let's do a very small exercise. Let's try to understand our own personality. I request each one of you who are listening, have a notebook or a sheet of paper and pen or pencil and write 1 to 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the sheet of paper. And then I will show you some questions, 7 questions. The questions are diagonally opposite. Let's first of all read the instructions along with me here. There are following set of words which describe the way you behave most of the times. The words are given diagonally opposite with a distance of 8 points. Your task is to put a tick mark on the number describing your behavior. Very important line, retain in your mind. Your task is to put a tick mark on the number describing your behavior. For instance, if you are casual about appointments, almost all the time, take and put a tick mark on number 1 or write number 1 on your sheet of paper in front of the first question. And if you are never late at all, put a tick mark on the number 8. That means I'm giving you casual about appointment almost all the time one side and never late on the other side. The distance of 1 to 8 point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you have to put a number which describe your behavior. If your behavior is in between the up to extreme, 1 and 8, then put a mark or write a number on any one of the remaining 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 based on the behavior pattern. Similarly, put tick marks on the remaining words which I'm going to show to you. So just again, once again, I'm repeating, your task is to put a tick mark on the number describing your behavior. Think about your behavior most of the time, last 1 week, last 1 month, like 2 months, last 3 months, like 1 year. Just think about it, not as today, as on today, I'm talking. See? But most of the time you try to project your behavior. Let's start with the first one. That is, casual about appointments, never late. You decide what will first come to your mind. Don't try to give a, really you want to know in reality, proper diagnosis of yours, then please don't try to give an ideal answer. Give what applies to you. You do most of the time. Are you casual about appointment most of the time? If yes, then put a number 1 in front of the first question. If you're never late, never at all, put 8. If you think your behavior is somewhere between 1 and 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you write that number. You are the best judge. You can decide for yourself. No one else can decide. Okay? Now you finished one. Let's go to the second one. Never feel rushed even under pressure. Always rushed. Never feel rushed even under pressure. Always rushed. 1 and 8. Answered good. Very competitive. What do you think? You are very competitive. 1 or not? Sorry, very competitive. You are 8. Not competitive. You are at 1. You see, 1 and 8. Not competitive and very competitive. 1 or 8 or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever you think is apply on you. Let's go to the fourth one. Take things one at a time. Try to do many things at once. Think what I'm going to do next. Take things one at a time is 1. Try to do many things at once. Think what I'm going to do next. That's 8. For example, you are doing exercise now, and at the same time you're thinking, oh, after this I will do this thing, then do this thing. Is it like this? Almost all the time, put 8, or they put number 1, whatever you think. Or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Fifth one. Show slow doing things. Slow doing things, 1. 8, fast. Doing things like eating, walking, etc. Slow doing things, 1. And 8 is fast, the other side. Sixth one. Express feelings. Share your feeling, positive or negative, good or bad. Express feeling, that's 1. Sit on feelings, that's 8. Feelings are there, but you don't show it. Just keep up to you. And the last question, many interests, 1. Few interests outside work. You have many interests, many hobbies, many interests, that's 1. But you have very few interests, 1 or 2 only, maybe 1. Your work, you have a student, study, just 1 interest, not many hobbies. That's 8. So 1 and 8. I'm sure you must have answered all the questions. 1 to 7. Great. Let's see. To score it, then interpret it. So scoring. Total score on all these 7 questions. And then multiplied by a constant 3. Total your score on all the 7 questions and then multiplied by 3. Suppose when you total all the 7 questions response, you get 30. Multiplied by 3, it will become 90. Or suppose you get 40 after scoring all 7 questions, you multiply that by a constant of 3, you will get to 120. Or suppose you got 35, multiplied by 3, it will come out to be 35 into 3 equal to 105. So your score become 105. So you got a score between maybe about starting with 21 to 210. Let's see. So keep your score and let's see what kind of personality you have. If your score is 100, 120 or more than 120, you got a score after multiplying by 3, then you are A plus type person. If your score is between 106 and 119, you are A type personality. If your score is between 100 and 105, you are A minus personality. So all 3 are type A personality. It differs in the degree of A-ness. That is A minus, A plus. In other sense, if your score is more than 100, 100 or more than 100, 110, 111, 120, 132, you are type A person. And if your score is between 90 to 99, you are a B plus personality. Or if your score is below 90, you are a B. So let me divide this into two categories. If your score is 99 and below, you are type B. If your score is 100 and above, you are a type A. If you're 120, A plus. 132, A plus. 111, A. So let's divide. So now you understand whether you type A or type B. What it means. Let's understand. If you're type A person, then these people, the people who got a score of 100 above, these people are always moving, walking, and eating rapidly. Think over it. Is it your behavior? Are you like this? Oh, great. Or these people who score type A, they feel impatient with the rate at which most events take place. Feel impatient with the rate at which most events take place. They find everything is very slow. Why people are slow? Why things are slow? Because they are type A. They want things to move very fast. These people, type A, strive to think or do two or more things simultaneously. One thing don't satisfy them. They do two or more things. They are eating food, attending a telephone calls, at the same time watching a television. Means not one thing, at a time two, four things. Doing together, they type A, strive to think or do two or more things simultaneously. These people cannot cope with leisure time. There's nothing like leisure time in their life. During leisure time, free time, they will always pick up something to do. Say, for example, they are going for a holidays to mountains or seasides. Instead of taking their clothes along with them, they will prefer to take one or two books also to read over there. Because, or maybe try to make an arrangement or appointment with some person in that city and town so that they can do their business also. So they cannot cope with leisure time. And always quality is important, but quantity is much more important. Are obsessed with number. Success is measured in terms of how much of everything they acquire. That's very important. How much? How many cars? How big house? How many servants they have? How many employees working with them? They are the type A people. And type B people who have the score of 99 and below, these people are never suffer from a sense of time urgency with its accompanying impatience. They are not suffering from any time urgency, not getting restless as they're getting late to a point or a meeting or to a class or to an office. They will think, oh, we will reach. Never mind if we are late, it's okay, it's a part of life. Never suffer from that. But type A is the opposite. They will be restless. These people, one of the biggest problems with these people which I've experienced is that feel no need to display or discuss either their accomplishment or achievements unless exposure is demanded by the situation. They have the achievement, they have the accomplishment in their bag, in their file, in their folder. They have the good certificate they have obtained in their life, but they will not expose, they will not tell unless until situation demanding. Only on the demand by someone they will tell. In other sense, sometimes I say type B people are the people who love answering any question in the form of a multiple choice question, MCQ, just putting a answer A or B or C or D, whatever you call, will not expand it. Further, these people, type B people, play for fun and relaxation. Whenever they play, maybe in the neighborhood, the badminton or cricket, whatever, they play for fun and relaxation rather than to exhibit their superiority at any cost. They don't want to prove to anyone they are superior. They are playing, it's a fun. Even if they lose, it's okay because they will play. That's a type B. But type A, no. You type A, even the type A when will play with a small child of the age of 6 to 8, he always have it in mind to win. That's a type A. Can relax without guilt. Type B people can get relaxed without guilt. So guilt is no guilt. Suppose if they nap for a moment at the workplace or in a moving car or in a metro, they feel it's a part of the life, it's a part of the body needs. So they don't feel. But the type A, the moment he or she have a nap even smart, he will feel guilty what have done it. I'm sure, no, type A, type B. I've explained you the characteristics, the quality of type A and type B. No, you know where you stand. No, I'm making a very strong statement. I hope you will take in positive way. Type A people are those people who are stress prone people. Type A people are those people who are stress prone. But the most successful people are type A people. Most successful people are type A people, provided they learn how to manage with the stress. The management of stress is very important. So, type A is a good quality to keep yourself going up the ladder, but at the same time, type A people need to learn how to cope with the stress, otherwise, stress will kill them. I hope I'm clear. I'm again repeating this complete sentence. Type A people are stress prone people, but most successful people are type A people, provided they learn how to cope with the stress. Here are few components. In my one slide I'm showing you, cannot spend more time on this because there are a couple of more things I need to talk to you. Is job stress. Maybe in some other videos I will explain job stress at a length. Job stress come from four sources at the workplace. That is second layer. There's somewhere about 20% of this stress comes from the job. 60% roughly or more than 60% come from the self. The four sources are administrative policies and strategies of the organization where you are working. The organizational structure and the design, what kind of structure you have, tall, flat, diagonal, matrix, what kind of structure you have. The organizational process means your decision making, the creativity, the communication, and so on. The organizational processes are the third factor, set of factors, and fourth set of factors are the working conditions, the physical working conditions and psychological working conditions. So the core components they constitute to drive job stress. Now let's see, my friends and listeners, what way. This all I'm going to give you now. Next, my 5 slides I'm going to show you how it affects the physical health. This is all I've taken from the different medical journals. These are many diseases are caused by psychological rather than genetic or environmental factors. These are the no genetic and environmental factors are ruled out. Then there's a psychological factor which are the cause of many diseases, and these are skin related diseases, that is temperature, eczema, urticaria, cirrhosis, acne. So skin. So there are 5 different types of disease which have been studied and investigated by different researchers, found that it affects the human body due to psychological stress. The cause is skin. The second area which get affected from this is muscles. Muscle is the second area which get affected, which constitutes the contraction, the chronic tension of the muscle, the musculoskeletal illness. So these are the muscle-related diseases. The cause is my intention not to scare you, but just to make you aware about it. If you're continuously in the stress form, stress condition, you experience it, then it can affect your skin, which I've shown you what are the different offshoots of that, and muscles, and what are the offshoots. Then going to the third area, that is brain. In brain, upsetting homeostatic, leading to body mind illness. So brain is the third area. The fourth area of the body which is affected by stress is the cardiovascular system. Here it affects your overworked heart, the blood pressure, hypertension, the destruction of blood vessels, and heart attack. So they are the cardiovascular area. The effect is the offshoot or the outcome of the cardiovascular system effect by the psychological stress in the form of overworked heart, blood pressure, destruction of blood vessels, and heart attack. The last and the fifth area of the body which get affected by the stress is gastro system, and the illnesses attached are stomach ulcer, intestinal disorders, constipation, diarrhea. So what areas we have seen of the body? We started with the brain, the skin, brain, muscle, gastro, and cardiovascular. The 5 different areas of the body which affected by stress. My intention was not to scare you again, I'm saying, but to make you aware about it. Here, no, it's up to you. Whether you continue to stay under these conditions or try to think to do something to overcome it. It's time for you to think. I think I can hear voices asking for coping with this stress. The coping with this stress I will be taking in my subsequent video. Next time you'll find it on the YouTube channel. I stop over here today with the hope that it helped you to understand the various areas of stress, from where it's coming and how it's affecting each one of us. So, dear friends and listeners, hope my this video will be helpful and will help you